Okay, we finally made it to the day. It's the 31st of March. This is the first kind of date that we've got for Madonna that's coming up. Okay, we've also got 4/4 that will be coming up as well. That's a hot date for Madonna, but this is the first date, and then obviously tomorrow as well, which is April Fool's Day, the 1st of April. Okay, that is also another date for Madonna. I'll show you why. Well, actually, it's really because most of the number jumps that I've been showing for the 31st also work for the 1st. Okay, it's that simple. So if I were guessing, I might be thinking the 31st into the 1st. Okay, and don't forget George McFly's birthday is the 1st of April. Okay, so if you've seen my recent stuff with the 88-mile-an-hour jumps with George McFly as well, that's pretty useful to know that stuff as well, and hence why the 1st is looking very hot and very hot. And the other thing about the 1st as well is what was I going to say? They're doing that rocket launch as well on the 1st. So that may be the ritual there for the rocket going up to the moon. Again, that's phallic symbolism going to the moon. The rocket is Artemis, so they've named it for the moon anyway, for the moon goddess, which is Diana. Okay, and we'll come across that in a minute anyway. What am I showing you here? This is Snatch, Guy Ritchie's film, and again, as I always say, this is about the diamond heist. The diamond is the diamond, the diamoon, the Diana, and Snatch is of course a crude term for the female genitalia. Okay, so this is Guy Ritchie's film, and Madonna at the time was Guy Ritchie's piece of Snatch. Okay, right. I've got quite a bit to show, and I actually want to backtrack because a lot of people have been talking about the CRM 114. Okay, because that date is coming up as well. I actually don't really think anything's going to happen on that date. It could be a date for World War III, but I think it was going to happen. It'll be on the 9th. It'll start with the Hoover Dam and all that. It'll just be all in one go. Anyway, let me show you this decode for the CRM 114. Right. This is kind of interesting with the 148. Remember, the 14th of August is our 28 days earlier than 9/11. Okay, which is all encoded in Lucas numbers. We're not going to do that right now, but what I want to do is show you the CRM, right? So everything we need to know for this decode is actually just in the CRM numbers themselves and all this stuff, right? What we need to do is we need to look at these numbers right here, okay? And what you'll see is C, R, and M give you a palindromic number, okay, like so. Okay, so we can pull a date out of here, and when we're talking about specifically Diana, her death date was the 31st of August. So we've got this nice palindromic number, and one of the dates you can get out of that is the 31st of August. So if we look at this now and do a number jump with it, if we go from her death to 9/11, what you'll see is it's 4 years, 11 days. Okay, so simply just going backwards here, 114, and then we've got the CRM here with these numbers. Okay, 9/11. Another thing I I've seen this before as well, and somebody else mentioned this in a comment somewhere, and I might have this in an old decoder of mine as well. Is that 911? As you write the number 911, and you look at a number 4, yeah, that is written like this. Okay, see how that is very similar to 911 as well. It's just something to think about. The other thing with this as well, let me show you one more thing. We don't want to be on this one. Let's go to the other chart. Let me show you something here as well. Here is our, bloody, why is this thing not writing properly now? Anyway, here's our 411, which is a cross reference for 312. Okay, it's in the pi sequence. 312, if you happen to go 28 days from 312, it will take you to, I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing, it's gone crazy. It will take you to 49, okay, bloomin' hell. So it will actually take you to 49. So again, pretty interesting, and also just look what it's right next to here. Okay, here's the 11 column, and you come down to 254, which is 911. Okay, it's right next door. Okay, yeah. Okay, so 312 through to 49 is 28 days, and the 28-day thing comes from lupus numbers here. Okay, which is, I don't want to go through it all right now. Okay, but if you've seen my other decodes on lupus numbers, you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, so that's pretty interesting with the CRM stuff. Okay, the fact that from Diana's death, which is CRM numbers here, through to 9/11 is 4 years 11 days. Okay, cool. All right, next thing to go through. Let's jump back to this right here. Let's do the Snatch stuff, right? So in Snatch, Brad Pitt is playing what is known as in England a pikey, yeah, kind of Irish gypsy, right? So what we want to do is the first thing we want to note is that the pi key is, let's go back to this other one. So the pi key, this one here. Right now, the pi key, this is the middle of the table. So the key would be right here, wouldn't it? Okay, the key would go in here at 4,4. Here's the number of pi. This is the pi cycle right here. So it's the pi key. Or it could be any one of set of these numbers really here, you know, depending on just depending on how you look at stuff, right? Anyway, you'll note that this whole cycle right here encodes Easter this year, because the two balancing numbers in here are 44 and 55, and Easter's on 4-5. I keep repeating this stuff. And we've got another Irish link with this as well, which is Piers Brosnan's birthday is right at the start of this. Okay, and he has the pi, Piers, the pious. Okay, so we're going to go through the golden eye stuff with this as well, just very quickly, because it's really interesting with Diana as well. So let's get off of this just for 1 second. We'll come back to that. But so this caravan is on fire, and so there is a very interesting connection with Madonna. I gotta see if I got where I got the bloody numbers now. I got this all strewn out all over the place. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at, this is Brad Pitt's birthday to Madonna, right? First of all, actually let's click the end date on. First of all, look at this number 1951. Click it or tick it. 297 prime. So we've got the white wedding showing up with this. This is extremely important because in the film, there are several references to Madonna in the film. But in the film, Brad Pitt is playing the Jesus character, and his mother is in here basically being burnt alive. Okay, so this van, this caravan represents the mother, represents, and the mother is in there burning. Yeah, so we have Mary, who is the mother, burning, or the temple burning, and then Brad Pitt is the son, is Christ in this, in this symbolism here, right? So this is interesting that, as again, Madonna is Guy Ritchie's piece of snatch, and there are several references to Madonna in the film, and there's references to Who's That Girl, there's references to Train Spotting, there's just lots of little references to Madonna, okay? Anyway, so who is dying in here? Let's look at the actress. Sorka is dying. She's the actress playing Mrs. O'Neill. I think it's like Mrs. O'Neill or something. Let's see. The Traveller Mother played, and he's Mickey. Don't forget he's Mickey. That's also important because Mickey Mouse is our 11/18 birthday. Yeah, so anytime you see Mickey, it's fairly important to the center of the chart of Lorraine. Okay, it's an 11/18 reference. That's Mickey Mouse's birthday. Just look at her. I know I've covered this before when we've been looked at 9/4 before. The 9th of April, 49 of all years. So she's a double 49 reference. It's a pretty big reference to this date coming up with the Hoover Dam. Okay, so she is burning in the caravan here. So this is a huge 49 reference, and also, again, going back to Madonna and Brad Pitt, we have the huge 297, which is the white wedding reference. Okay. Also, you can just unclick that and you have the straight 195 here. Let me show you something. Remember Prodigy? Remember Prodigy had a song called Firestarter? This is it, actually. This is Keith right here. He's got his American pullover on, his jumper on, and they are in an underground tunnel, right? This is what's so fascinating about this, because of all this connection with the tunnel, the Channel Tunnel, and Madonna. Okay, and this is kind of what I've been saying for a while, is like, could it be the Channel Tunnel? Could she be in the Channel Tunnel and an accident happens? Maybe she dies in the Channel Tunnel. Maybe nothing happens. Maybe it's just a tunnel reference. Who knows? Maybe she just dies. Whatever. Who knows? But anyway, here is the tunnel reference. But you've got to remember, the tunnel reference is, again, like the tomb reference. Again, it's the Vesica Pisces reference. So, I mean, there's just, there's the rebirth with this, and there's also the going into the tomb, the death. Okay, so Firestarter. So you see where I'm going with this thing on fire, the Firestarter, okay, and Prodigy. Okay, so there was just some interesting number jumps that actually sort of matched up with it, right? What's this one? So this is Keith's birthday, okay, through to the release of Firestarter, okay, and that is 1195 prime. And you might say, okay, whatever, Dan. That's interesting. It'd been better if it had been 195 just straight off, but if I do, who the hell have I got here? This is Liam. Okay, he's basically the guy that does all the music. but actually Keith sings in Firestarter. Okay, so this is Liam Howlett, and this is his birthday through to. Interesting with Liam as well, with Prince William. Okay, and Liam is the abbreviation for William. Okay, through to 49 now, coming up 19955. Okay, kind of fascinating that, isn't it? Kind of fascinating with this repeat, the 49 repeat, the 49 with Sorka, yeah, the 195 with Brad Pitt and Madonna, okay, and then also with Keith with the 195 prime, or 1195 prime, okay. Super duper interesting stuff there. So that's the Firestarter, right? The Firestarter. Oh dear. What else have I got here? I wanted to show you some of this stuff with, as we've got, as most of this decode really comes from. Where the hell? What was this? Hang on a minute. What's this? Oh, that was Firestarter through to today's date. 30 years, 13 days. Which is pretty interesting because in Ghost Town, Madonna's Ghost Town has a 4/9 reference with the length of the thing, and when it was released was 313. So 313, and this is of course 313 backwards. Same numerology going on here. Just interesting. I guess let's get onto the GoldenEye stuff. Just something interesting with GoldenEye. When we did the Studio 54 with Roddy Piper, Roddy Piper's birthday was 4/17. Well, also Sean Bean, who's the baddie in GoldenEye, he's also got a 4/17 birthday. I just thought it was just interesting. I'm trying to think what else I've got up here that's. I don't know if I want to jump back to this stuff or not. What is it? That's Keith. Okay, just while we're still on the topic of Prodigy, also don't forget that the Prodigy, the prodigal son, is Christ. Okay, so that's Keith's birthday through. So this is basically his age. This is his death date. This is basically his age when he died. 49 and 168 days. Okay, Madonna's birthday and Sorka's birthday. Okay. I thought that was interesting as well. I probably should have put that in like that, Okay. So I thought that was worth a mention, and I don't know what this other one is. Oh, that's Keith through to Madonna, and it's a 4/5, which is Easter this year as well. Okay, 40/50. What else? I don't think there was anything interesting about that, was there? No. Right. Move on rapidly so we can get through all this stuff. Well, we've done all that. That's pretty good. Don't forget also the pub, which is the Drowning Trout in Snatch. The Drowning Trout, I think, is just a play on words reference to Loud and Trot, or Loud and Trot in Trout. What the hell is his? Well, whatever his name is. I think it's a play on words with tying back into Who's That Girl, basically. And don't forget the numbers as they go in the pub there. It's a 49 on the door there as well. Okay, through the Twin Towers, through the if you look at the pub itself, it's got the kind of the Royal Arch feel about it, okay, with the Twin Towers and the Royal Arch stuff. Anyway, let's get onto this GoldenEye stuff. So in GoldenEye, this tank is about to shoot the train. Tank and train and Madonna all share very similar gematria. 2662 stuff, okay? So it's super important straight off the bat with train and all that stuff, right? This 247 that is on the well, it's a tunnel, okay, and it's actually kind of reminiscent of the idea of the Hoover Dam here, all in concrete, 4 pillars, yada yada yada. Anyway, there's lots of different references back to Madonna through this tank. You often see Prince Charles pictured in a tank. That's one interesting thing. And this 247, Madonna happens to be, let's see if we can got it here. She happens to be on the 31st, 247,000 days old. So the 247 shows up here. This also works for the 1st of April as well. Okay, so you can unclick and move on to the 1st of April. So a midnight hour event would be interesting. So anyway, 247, this was also Hulk Hogan. His death date was on 247, and from 247 last year through is 254 days. You have this connection back to the Queen, back to 9/11, the 254, back to the dollar bill, yada yada yada. Again, don't forget. Also, what's the name? Brad Pitt and Donnie Darko. Brad Pitt is the 18th, and Donnie Darko is the 19th of Donnie Darko. Jake Gyllenhaal is the 19th of. So they're only one day apart, those two as well, which is kind of interesting. Albeit however many years, 63 to 80, whatever that is. So anyway. Yeah, so super duper interesting with this 247. She's 247 on that date. Now, let me just show you something. Let's just go through a couple of things with the film very quickly. I know this is not making much sense for new people. It's really just a recap for everybody who's seen it before. But we've got the tank there shooting at the train, and let's see if we can get the number on the side of the train as well. There's the number on the tank, 343, and let me show you something here. There's Bond getting out. That's Pierce Brosnan. And let's see if we can get. Can we see this number? I just got to play just a second there. Well, you can just about see it. It's 745. So let me show you the significance of these numbers. Firstly, we got the tank. Prince Charles, I guess he's Prince Charles at the time, pictured a lot of the time in tanks. I don't have a picture up right now. If we go from Diana's death, okay, 343 is the number on the tank, okay, and then if we go from her birthday through to 331 as well, 777. This is all in months, which is really important. Again, with the moon goddess Diana, Artemis, sending the bloody big old phallic symbolism to the moon. Okay, on the 1st, which is George McFly, his birthday, so the resurrection, okay, on the 1st, would lead us into thinking that this, she should, like if this is going to transpire, you would think that Madonna would have to die sometime just before the 1st of April, okay, and then the 1st of April would be the resurrection, okay. So kind of in the midnight hour, but who knows? Who knows? Anyway, 777 jackpot. Coincidentally, let me just show you something. So this is interesting with the fire here as well. But let me just show you something here back in Snatch. If you just back up right before this scene, Turkish's little, I don't know what you call it. It's their little shop, arcade thing. They've got a bunch of fruit machines in here, yeah. So the 777 is just well interesting in terms of moving on to this thing going up in flames. Okay. So the 777 jackpot there with Diana, yeah, again super interesting. I think they do have. I want to say there's a daffodil or some yellow flowers in that shop as well, which could reference back to obviously Wales, the daffodil. Yeah. So again, connecting back with Diana and Wales, and all that scene in I Pet Goat where it looks like whale ribs, like they're inside the whale, with Tank Girl. I don't have that up here, but basically all this stuff ties together, right? Anyway, let's carry on. Let me show you why those numbers on that train are so important. So here's Pierce Brosnan's birthday right here. Okay, he's just getting out of the tank, and he's got the tank parked in the tunnel with 247 on it right here. Okay, and then he basically the tank number. Here's the tank number right here, 343, and here's the train number, 745. It's the cross of Christ. Yeah, and we're right at 44 here, which is, you could look at this as the cross of Christ, as Christ has died here, because it's over on its side, sort of thing. Okay, so 44, this is the Black Sabbath, yeah, that we've been talking about with the Black Prince. Okay, 44 for Prince William. But of course that would also be Madonna. Okay, the Matrix. Okay, so 44 again, it would be just as good for that, you know, for her on 44. But anyway, coming through here, the release. Here's the release of the film Snatch, the 23rd of August, just in reverse there. Okay, I can't think what else I've got here. I felt like I had some kind of 57 number in one of them number jumps. We might come across it. Anyway, that is absolutely mental, because of course this is the date that we're really looking at. Okay, one of these 4-9 dates right here. Okay, and you can see that other numbers that sit sort of in this middle section, like the Queen's death. We're going to talk about the Queen's death actually. Thank you, John. I think it was John O'Leary. I hope I'm getting that right in the comments. Dropped that it was 1300 days from the Queen's death, which is the crowning again of Charlie Boy, through to, actually it's today's date, the 31st, or also works for the, not 1300. Now he was talking about the 30th, but 1301 brings us to today's date, 331, and also the 1st. So thanks for dropping that comment. Here's Diana's birthday. Here's the 26th, which is so important with blah 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 blah. What am I thinking? With Tank, Train, Madonna. Okay, all 26 stuff. We're in 2026, and with all this stuff with the fire here, you know, with the train on fire there and the caravan on fire. We just had that plane accident at LaGuardia, yeah, and it was the fire truck with the number, I think it was 53 or 35 on the side of it. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was like 53 or 35 that was on the side of that fire truck. Okay, so again, that's blooming well interesting, isn't it? Okay, what else, Dan? Come on. I'm thinking. I might, well, will I show it? Whoa. No, right, okay, anyway, let me show you something else. Go back to this. So there's our 7. Oh, by the way, 777, 7 cubed, is also 343, yeah? So with that tank number, so that's also important. And of course the Vegas connection with 777. Right, what else have I got here? Oh, look at this, right? Channel Tunnel. I thought I'd pick out a date for the Channel Tunnel because of all the, you know, because Keith's in the tunnel there, Prodigy's in the tunnel, and the tank is parked in the end of the tunnel, and we've had so many connections to the Channel Tunnel, which is the French connection. Okay, I picked out. I was like, oh, we'll do the Hoover Dam date, which is the 30th of September, and see where it comes out for a number jump through to 331. And also look at this. Look at the date. So the 30th of September is the birthday of the Hoover Dam. And look what they opened it for. Caravans, camper van service. Yeah, yeah, caravan, camper van service connected back with what? The Hoover Dam. And let's look at the number jump for it. So when they open that service up in the Channel Tunnel, look at it. This is, yes, who's born on 11/14. It's Prince Charles's birthday numbers right there. That's just insane. Again, it's just crazy stuff like this, you know. I mean, really? I mean, all these dates are, look, we've even got his birthday in here as well, you know. All these dates are really crazy anyway. But, you know, here's Tank Girl. Tank Girl. So, Madonna isn't in this film, but Laurie Petty, her character, who's Tank Girl, it reminds me so much of Who's That Girl. Notice she's got the, yeah, who wears that? The Who. Where's the RAF ensign there? That sign as well, yeah. What else was I going to say about that? Apart from the Who, the Who have a great Dam reference where they're peeing on the monolith on their album cover. If you've ever seen the St. Francis Dam collapse stuff, you'll see the reference there, and that is also in the Back to the Future 2 in the symbolism on what was the Assembly of Christ building, which is an art museum or whatever in that version of the film. It has a stair step basically, and the stair step is the stair step dam. What was I going to say about this? The bullseye, the red eye, HAL 9000. Got a bunch of references there with that. In fact, I've got another decode to show you on that. It's crazy as well. Tank Girl. Anyway, the WHO, the World Health Organization, yeah, the Hoover Dam. And actually, we've got the release date right here. We don't even need to go to it. March the 31st. Okay. Fascinating. 31 years ago. Also fascinating, isn't it? Okay. So 31 stuff coming up. So again, very interesting, and yes, with the tank and the tank here, yeah, the tank girl. Okay. What else did I have for this decode? There's the Artemis launch date. Okay. Target launch window, April 1st to the 6th. So assume that they're going to send it off on the 1st, seeing as they can manipulate the weather so well anyway. I don't know what they're doing with the weather right now. 1 minute it's boiling hot, the next minute it's cold, the wind's blowing like a bugger, north, south. It's like a yo-yo. Could be a reference to Choose Life, Wake Me Up Before You Go. Anyway, here we go. The Queen's death, Charlie Boy's crowning, through to that day, 131. Okay, the training Back to the Future, 131 on the side of it. Remember, from Madonna's birthday to Christmas is 131 days, yeah? Madonna, Mary, Christ. Christmas is Christmas, Christ's birth, 131. Super duper interesting with all that as well. Okay, you can move that on as well to the 1st. Yeah, so you just click on, unclick, and it still works. You can actually, if you wanted to count 3 different ways, you could actually count 3 different ways if you was really desperate to watch things up and, you know, move things around. So I think that's it. That's all the decode stuff. Just absolutely crazy. Just some new stuff in there as well, with just some connections with Firestarter. I thought it was probably ought to do that. Also, iPet Goat has some references to fire in it as well. So, you know, what else? I think that's it. We've done it all. We've done it all. Well, we haven't done it all because I've left out all the train spotting stuff in there as well. I mean, there's just tons of interesting things. Like, in Snatch, the bad guy is Alan Ford Bricktop. Okay, yeah. 23rd of February is his birthday, 1938. Happens to be 88, which is interesting. But the 23rd of February is our train spotting date. That's when train spotting came out in 96. And what's her name? Kelly MacDonald, who is Diane in the film, is also born on the 23rd of February. Okay, it's exactly 20 years is the release of the film on her birthday. She's 20 years old. And don't forget Oozzy Ewan McGregor, who is Renton, is 55 years old. So the train spotting reference there with him, Obi-Wan Kenobi, whatever else he's been in. And there are several other little references to him. Yeah, I just haven't had time to do all these deep codes, But his birthday is the 31st of March, and also Madonna's got a few connections with Christopher Walken as well. And his birthday is the 31st of March, and also in Pulp Fiction, that has that, I believe it's a Madonna death scene. In Pulp Fiction, and also that connects back with Snatch because it's a fixed boxing match going on in that film as well, just like there is in Snatch. And also, what was I going to say about it? Christopher Walken in that film has the gold watch up his backside. That's the big thing, right? With what his character does. And so the gold watch is the sun inside the tomb. Okay, so again, really interesting, and obviously then you can start talking about Brad Pitt and Fight Club, all these sort of boxing things, Fight Club, yada yada yada. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there because I could just keep waffling on and waffling and waffling. But there were some, I think there were some good number jumps for train spotting as well. I can't remember what they were though, but there was a couple that worked from train spotting, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I feel like we had something maybe with George Michael and Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. I feel like there was a number jump with that as well that was good. Who knows? I can't remember. Got too many. Just go back to the back catalogue and just watch a few videos. It's all right there. I can't keep track of it all. So much stuff, and quite a lot of good stuff as well. Sometimes quality varies on a lot of these things, but this is just insane with Diana. Having this in months, having this number jump in months with the tank, and then also having jackpot as well. Okay, 777. Is just absolutely crazy. So something's gonna, when the jackpot hits, what starts flowing? Money. And what you have to remember is that money, time, and that the flow of water are all connected. Yeah, those things are all connected. Very similar symbolism with all those things, and this is the problem with what the dam is. It's a bank that goes across a river, an unnatural bank that collects the energy of that river and stores it. Unfortunately, we're trapped in the wrong side of it. Okay, and that energy is then used by the bank and not in the natural way, so to speak. So, and that energy is time and money. It's basically time, but time equates to money. Anyway, done, I suppose. 777, yeah. And yeah, that's just crazy with that. That other thing that's, oh, this is Naomi Watts' birthday. Through to 331 as well. She's got the 213, the start of Lucas numbers. Okay, and yeah, just go back to that, Dan, as well. That's the. Also, I'll tell you one other thing as well. Don't forget that this is the Hoover Dams birthday, so the following day is 101, room 101 that you go into, and if you look at 101 on the calendar, that should be okay. For another thing is, this is when Donnie Darko starts as well. Okay, they don't show that date. The first date they show is this, but you see the 12 o'clock hour. And technically, this is when Donnie Darko should have died, was going into room 101. Yeah, or was it the? No, it was this date here. Sorry. But anyway, what am I trying to say? Here we go. Right here, 101. Let's go to the 91st day of the year. And you can see that Madonna has a ton of 19 connections as well. And that is April Fool's Day. Okay, and don't forget that 19 reflected, and so you can use 91 as well as pi. Yeah, pi. P. I guess if I draw a P like this, it's a bit more like it. Well, let's draw it like this. You can get the idea. It's a 9. It's flip it around, reflect it, however, twist it around and make it into a pi 90. Okay, 91 pi. Okay. Oh dear, Dan. Okay, and also look, just check out the numerology there as well with the tunnel. Okay, I think that's it. We're done. Don't forget as well, 4/4 is also the 94th day of the year. Okay, that's it. I'll catch on another one. We'll see if something happens or not. I don't never hold out too much hope, it'll probably be later on anyway. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.